that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, all that is in the world, three things: the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Those are the 3 points on which we're tempted. And those were the 3 points on which the devil assaulted the Lord Jesus in the wilderness temptation. The lust of the flesh, he was hungry. He hadn't eaten for 40 days and 40 nights. No sin to be hungry. No sin to turn stones into bread. But he wouldn't do it at the suggestion of the devil. The lust of the flesh. Then the lust of the eyes. He showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the pride of life. You'll have that religious crowd down there in the courtyard in the palm of your hand. Give them a miracle. Show them a demonstration. Put on a supernatural act. They'll eat it up. Jesus didn't fall for it. Sure, he was tempted on those 3 points. Those are the only 3 points of temptation in which the devil appealed to Mother Eve in Genesis chapter 3. The lust of the eyes, the desire of the flesh, and the pride of life. Yes, he was assaulted on those 3 points, but he did not sin because he could not sin. 1 John 3:5, in him is no sin. He escaped the sin principle. Now back to James chapter 1, verse 15. Then when lust, desire, hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Now watch this. Then when lust, hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. L-S-D, lust, sin, death. Now, when does lust conceive? When does lust? When it hath conceived, bringeth forth sin. In other words, I am not guilty of sin until the desire conceives. But when does the desire conceive? When does the lust conceive? If I understand it correctly, it is this. Lust conceives when the will surrenders to the desire. Lust conceives when the will yields to the desire. And I think the Lord Jesus illustrates this for us in Matthew chapter 5. Will you turn, please, to the 5th chapter of the Gospel according to Matthew. Matthew chapter 5. When you find Matthew chapter 5, I want to begin with verse 20.